So welcome to Better Yourself with your boy Frank Rice, and today I got a special guest for you. Somebody I actually know for a few years now. We actually never have a chance to really talk. Her name is Beatrice Preeya. She's known as Bea Preeya, and she's born and raised in Paris. And she discovered yoga at the university at the age of 20. She's very passionate about the music. She actually loved the music. She loved yoga as well, as you guys know, and she fell in love with India as well. So she have a master degree in music business, and she did a lot of events, like such as she organized a lot of event festival in Paris and in London as well for over a decade. So today we're gonna talk about something special. We're gonna talk about what she called Michael Jackson yoga, and of course, gonna go through her life. You're just gonna explain her us like how she gained to all of this. So welcome to Better Yourself, Bea. So I just want you to introduce
Hi.
yourself. That's what I always ask my people because the best way for you to talk about yourself is yourself. Let's get it.
Yeah, so hi, thank you for having me.
Yeah,
My name is Beatrice, but everyone calls me Bea.
yeah,
I'm French, I'm 32, I was born in Paris, but I lived in different countries. I lived
yeah.
in Estonia for a bit, I lived in the UK for a bit, and now I live in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah. What can I say about me? Well, as you said, I'm very passionate about music since early age. So I've studied music. I worked in the music industry for over a decade.
Yeah,
But I was also very passionate about yoga, and somehow I switched my profession. After 10 years of working in the music industry, I had a burnout, I had a depression, and everything made me like maybe think about my life and what I wanted to do in the future. And I
yeah,
think I wanted to help people more than
yeah,
I used to do. And yoga, I don't know, it came out like very organically.
yeah,
So I I traveled India on my own for the first time. It was something I wanted to do
yeah,
for years and years. And I finally did it. And well, after that, I don't know, everything switched and changed. I left France, I left my job, and
yeah. Because I
I,
see that actually, because you was quite brave to actually leave your job. Because I think for what I've seen, like you used to love your job and you left your job for, to travel, and then you fall in love with
yeah,
India as well, and you actually been traveling alone. I always ask myself, how do people do to just travel by themselves? Like especially like I see a lot of people going to India. I don't know if there's something about India there, because every time I see somebody go to India, something always happen. I don't know why, especially
well,
when they go on their own.
that's the thing. I've been traveling a lot. I think I've been to over 35 countries already, which is
Wow.
quite good.
That's really good. Yeah.
Mostly on my own. And India was always on the list, but you hear so many things on the news that it's very unsafe, and
Yeah.
especially for women. Um, well, so it makes you really think twice before doing it.
Mm,
And I was always waiting for someone to go with me, and
yeah.
nobody was willing to. So I finally made my decision. And India is, man, it's a country like no other. Like I've been to different continents.
Mm,
India is, I don't know, something else. You arrive there. First, they have so many different cultures.
yeah.
The country is big. You have different languages spoken
Yeah.
through the country, so that makes it already very unique. And the thing is that you can feel the spirituality and the religions, because they
Yeah.
have different religions as well,
All right.
everywhere in the country. So, and they it's very difficult to explain actually if you haven't experienced it, but you can see also a lot of poverty, which is true.
Yeah.
Um, so that really open up your eyes and your mind. And well, if you're into spirituality or just
Yeah.
getting to discover something new, India will change you. Actually, you will either love it or hate it,
But do you
because
think you
it's
have to be like, sorry, do you think you have to be, because, okay, let's say you are Christian. Do you think you have to be more like open mind, or just like, there's a lot of people are just free religion. They are very spiritual, but they're
Mhm.
not like attached to one religion. I think those kind of people, if they go there, they might relate more, right? Or like a Christian, if you
Yeah,
go there, do you think you can feel the same
yeah,
vibe? Like,
I, I think so, because actually my father is Christian.
Yeah.
My mom is completely atheist, so I grew up
Yeah.
in a family where talking about religion was really taboo.
Oh,
So that was complicated. Uh, and I've been always interested about spirituality and
yeah.
more about Buddhism actually. But going to India, there are a lot of Christians as well, a lot of Muslims, a lot
Mm.
of Hinduism, a lot of Jainists. So the thing is that even if you're not Hinduist, Buddhist, or whatever, you will feel the vibe there and how religions are important for them.
Oh, I
So
see that.
you will experience it in the same way, even if you're from another religion.
So there's like somebody actually introduced you from India, like to actually advise you to go to India. It was just like your own research.
Now, as far as I can remember, I've always been interested about going there. I don't know why and how, but it
Oh,
grew up
okay.
in my mind like through the years. And it started, with little things. First, I was trying to understand about the goddess and gods there. They have many. It's very
Yeah,
difficult
yeah,
to understand that. And then I was trying to understand the connection between Buddhism and Hinduism, because for me it was quite the same, but not really. And then just the landscape, because in India they have all the landscape possible. Like you can find everything in that country. Like it's so different from north to south. I was just curious, I
I
guess,
think
and
for
I went.
somebody like you actually come from like a big city like Paris, because like when you compare like leaving Paris and going to India, that's like, you know, this is like a big change, for somebody actually and young as well and live like in such a busy city like Paris, and you just decide one day to switch to another city, like another country where the language is different as well. I think there must be a lot of things happening in your life for you to try to make that change, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as I told you, I really wanted to go there for a long time, but
Yeah.
I had to wait for that breaking point
Yeah.
of where I felt so broken and so sad, and to
uh,
be brave enough actually to just go on my own. Like I booked my ticket, I asked my boss for 1 month holiday, which was
mm,
difficult to get.
yeah.
And yeah, I just went. I knew that I wanted to visit South, so I planned some stuff, and then I met people through the way,
So you
and
stay there for a month, right?
yeah, for one
And
month.
then, and what happened when you come back and you decide just, you know what, that's it, I need to leave everything, or you just like
So the
stay a
thing is
little
that
bit?
first I decided to travel during 2 weeks on my own in the
Yeah.
country, and then I spent 2 weeks in an ashram. So how can I explain to you what is an ashram? It's like a spiritual place
Yeah.
where everyone is welcomed, and actually what you do mostly during your days, it's to do yoga and to meditate and to chant, to do some spiritual chants. That's
Yeah.
it. But you wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning and you go to bed at 10, which
Oh,
are very, very intense days because you do like between 4 and 6 hours of yoga a day,
yeah.
at least 3 hours of meditation. So for someone as us who live in the city, busy, that's a huge change, because you're like, wow, that's
Yeah.
something I've never done before. And then after that, I mean, you can't come back to your life um, as you were before. It's impossible, because it changed you so much
Yeah.
in a way of seeing things or feeling things.
Yeah.
And you see that, well, actually, you don't need all that material things that we, especially in the West,
Yeah. Yeah.
we we value so much and things. So yeah, I was like, it really helped me to take some decisions, big decisions, let's say that.
In your life, yes.
Yeah, in
So
my
the,
life.
the depression, like tell me much about the depression, because I know there's like we live in a time these days like a lot of people are really suffering from like a breakdown of mental health, like so was it that hard for you actually to switch to actually do, of course I know like you fall in love with the yoga, like how did you turn, before I fast forward, how did you turn from India to yoga? Because I know like you actually you found out the yoga at university, right? Am I right?
Yeah,
So
it's
what
true.
happened? How did you fall
So
in love with that?
I traveled in India age 30, but I
Yeah.
discovered yoga at age 20. So I
Okay.
had a friend who took me there, and I liked it, but I didn't see really what was so special about it. I think at that time I was experiencing it more as a workout or
Yeah.
fitness thing. And it took me actually years and years to finally get it.
Yeah.
because actually the secret of yoga is just to practice regularly.
Yeah.
So how I got there, I need to sum up a bit, if you allow me.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, so I grew up in a family. So my father is from Congo. My mom is mixed race as well.
Yeah.
And I had like a traumatic childhood. So I used to be beaten up and mentally abused by my mom
Uh,
since age, I don't know, 1 to age 19, something like that.
one. That's early.
Yeah. The first memory I remember, I was age 3 or 4, and I remember my mom trying to drown me in a bath. So yeah,
Wow.
that's. So I think it. Yeah,
I
I
think
think
that's what people don't
he.
realize. Things that you do in the kids in a young age, sometimes it stays.
Yeah, it just stays, and the thing is that I couldn't talk about it to no one, and my mom was very nice to people outside.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult, to get help or whatever. So I kind of grew up with a schizophrenic personality in a way, because at home I was very introvert and alone, but
Yeah.
outside I was very joyful and helping people and stuff like that. So I've been living like that until age 18.
Yeah.
Then I finally told one person about what was going on, and that person trusts me, so it helped me to really break free, let's say that. My dad was maybe unaware of the situation, but he was a bit of an absent dad, so it was
Uh,
difficult to involve him. So whatever. So I had my childhood trauma, and when I started to grow up, age 19, 20, I did everything I could to put it aside. But the thing is that at some point it just come out and explode. So the thing is that at age 30, I've been through breakups and stuff. And I think there was a pattern. I was very, very afraid of being rejected, abandoned, and everything like that. I was desperate for love, I guess, and to please people all the time and things like that.
yeah.
And I, age 30, I got a very bad breakup, and everything came out. Like I couldn't run away from my problems, my mental problems, let's say that.
Yeah.
So I had to do something, and for the first time, I started therapy, and well, I'm not able to talk to you about it, which is very
Yeah.
new for
I'm very thankful for that. Because I
yeah,
always see you from far. I was like, I always see like something about this person. Like, I know, like we've been friends on, social media for quite many years.
yeah,
But you always do your own thing all the time. I always been curious about what you actually do because
yeah,
I can see the spirituality in you because I'm kind of spiritual as well. I'm a Christian, believe in God, but I love like people are deep and passionate about what they're doing, and that's what I
yeah.
see in you a lot. And then through the year was going, and you have changed a lot, even the way you are, your parents, like a lot of things. That's why sometimes I try to talk to you, just check you out, how you're doing, and it's always good to know that. But your story, and after that, did you try to get in touch with your mom? Is your relationship with your mom better now?
Uh, well, it's very difficult because I try to forgive her, which
Yeah.
is very difficult because she would never admit all the wrong she did to me. So
Yeah.
that's also difficult. I think as she's aging, she would like us to bond more. I do my best, but it's very difficult because, I can't be like all smiling and joyful because she's my main abuser. Like
Oh
every
yeah.
time I see her, I remember everything she did to me, and it's very difficult. But I try my best. We chat, we call sometimes. Sometimes I go see her, but she lives in another city in France. But yeah, it takes time.
How do
Like
you feel? Oh yeah, I know. How do you feel right now? Like, are you your state of mind? Where are you right now? Like, mentally, are you fine? Are you much better than like 5
yeah,
years behind?
I feel much better than I used to be. I think for the first time of my life, I feel really true to myself. Like I can really tell people my stories. Before that, I was very ashamed of my childhood. So people actually they knew me, but they never knew me too much because I was always trying, to keep a gap between me and people in a way that I knew they would ask about family and things, and for me that was impossible
Yeah.
to tell. I didn't want to be judged, especially for people who don't really understand what is child abuse,
Yeah.
who have really good bond with their family. It's difficult for them to understand that. Yeah, not everyone has a happy childhood like that, and yeah, and
Uh,
this is also how Michael Jackson appeared in my life.
yeah. I think that's what I was gonna get into. I think now, since the way you are explaining your life, your childhood, the abuse and everything, and now I can understand why there is so much link
Yeah,
with Michael Jackson because I mean, I like it because that's the Michael Jackson, not just like the artist. That's the MJ, the person, the little boy, that's the one. So tell me about Michael Jackson. How do everything come together with Michael Jackson? Because before we get into your yoga,
my father liked MJ. I think
yeah,
back then in the 90s, I remember I was like 3 or 4 years old. Well, I guess most of the parents liked MJ. It was impossible not to.
special African parent. Yeah, everybody like Michael Jackson. Yeah.
Exactly. So
I'm wearing
sometimes I
this for
would,
you, by the way, today. So this is just special. I'm wearing this T-shirt for you.
yeah, that's a really nice one.
I was like, yeah, I wear this. Yeah, go on.
Yeah, so my father was, trying to dance like MJ, like very badly. So I would mock him or, looking at him
Really?
like, what is he doing? So I used to hear MJ a lot at home, but I
Yeah,
was never, really bonding with it because I think I grew up, as I told you, I have siblings, but
yeah,
I was really the one who was mistreated. So I guess my mom put on all her violence really towards me for some reason.
yeah,
So I was in a family with, yeah, my siblings and stuff, but I was really alone. So I don't know if you get it.
yeah. I get it. Yeah,
Yeah. So I think at age 11, I heard The Way You Make Me Feel on the radio. I was in my bedroom.
yeah,
And I don't know why, but it really touched me this time. And I was like, huh? But this is Michael Jackson, and I was supposed to know it because my father used to listen to him. But
yeah.
I think it really came at me. Uh, and that day, well, I decided to get to know everything about him. So I bought Bad Album and blah, blah, blah. And the more I was discovering about the artist, the more I wanted to discover about the man. And once I found out that he had himself a difficult childhood, and I was trying to understand the lyrics as well. Well,
Mm,
remember, I'm French, so back then I was
yeah.
barely understanding what he was saying in the songs. But the more I was translating and understanding, the more I felt a really, really huge connection with him. And in a way, he was like my bubble of protection, like my friend, my dad, my everything, because well, I only had him to escape
Yeah.
from the darkness of home. So yeah,
I
this is
think
how.
that's what many people don't understand is like Michael Jackson. People actually like Michael Jackson for many reasons. Like, what you're saying today is because of your childhood. Me as well. I think the reason why I actually become Michael Jackson fan, the story is kind of, I haven't been abused, but the thing is, it was more like my mother used to play Michael Jackson every day in the house. And I grew up with my father, but the thing is, he left us when he's still alive, but he just like, went, for somebody else. When I was like, I would say 6 years old. So I never
Yeah,
grew up with my father. So I always have that. I never have like a man in my life, somebody just trying to tell me, what's up.
bigger,
But
like
yeah,
really,
I
yeah,
always feel that empty feeling, and it's because of Michael Jackson that actually I see that. And then even the relationship I have today with my kids, I actually got him from Michael Jackson. Instead of my father teach me those things, he's
yeah,
actually somebody else actually teach me that, even if I never really have a conversation with Michael Jackson. And it's just weird, like how somebody can have such a big impact in your life. So what you're trying to say now, I completely understand it. And it's a shame that many people, they don't see that part of MJ. They only see like crazy fans. That's the reason why I'm not so into like buying stuff or whatever. I'm not like crazy fans or what. I'm more into the person, and
yeah.
I understand him maybe better. So what is the best Michael Jackson song right now? Is it still The Way You Make Me Feel? Because I think that was the first song that you actually find, I mean,
Can you
discovered, right?
repeat the question? Sorry, because it stopped at
Oh,
some point.
sorry. I said, what is the best Michael Jackson song? Is it still The Way You Make Me Feel?
I think sentimentally, The Way You Make Me Feel is still like high in the rank, but I have to say that I really love for whole time. You Are My Life.
Yeah. Oh,
also.
You Are My Life is good. Yeah.
Yeah, I love a smile. Well, I don't know. There are so many
Do you
songs.
prefer sad song?
Well, I think that I can really connect with the sad song, like because when I was younger, I really felt like it was singing this to me, like to keep going and everything. But
Yeah.
no, it depends on the mood. Actually, I love all of them, like really.
Do you like
They inspire
Scare of the
very
Moon? Do you like that
powerful.
song?
Yeah, exactly.
Scare of the
Mood.
Moon. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
beautiful song. Can you sing
yeah,
as well?
yes, and
Oh, okay. Yeah, go on.
yeah, yeah. So scared of the moon, like someone in the dark, all those
Oh,
sad
Somewhere in
songs.
the Dark. Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
beautiful
but
song as well.
it really depends on the moods. Actually, it's so difficult to pick
So, why is
songs.
Michael Jackson for you? How do you describe Michael Jackson? Like, what do you love
To
the
to be
most about
honest,
Michael Jackson?
well, of course, he was an amazing artist. I think everyone can see that. But for me, I think I love the person more than the
Yeah,
artist because I I think that he really tried, to bring so much good things into this world, and that's such a pity that people couldn't understand that. I think no one could ever understand what it's like to be Michael Jackson.
yeah,
Like he was known by everyone, but I'm sure that deep down he was alone. We
yeah,
all maybe felt that one day in life. We have a lot of friends, we're always surrounded, but deep down you can feel alone sometimes. So for him, there might have been even harder, like more intense.
yeah,
And I think, yeah, it was different. For some people, it was maybe weird or bizarre or whatever. It was definitely different. But when I look at him, I can see like a light shining, like an aura. He
yeah.
had, I don't know, it's for me, it's a really, I could say the personification of love. That's how I could describe him. Like,
Michael Jackson, yes.
yeah, it's, for me, it's impossible to imagine that he was a mean person, as the media tried to paint him for so many years. I just can't. When you see how beautiful songs he wrote, how beautiful poems, and how he was really, engaged to make a change for the world. How can you be a monster on the side? I mean, I have a hard time believing. Like it's
Yeah, I mean, I actually understand what you're trying to say about
yeah,
MJ, but the thing is, when you see what happened in his life, his choice, the choice that he made, and when it comes to like surgery and all these
yeah,
things, I know like he had vitiligo, of course, and he made some mistake in his life as well. Do
yeah.
you understand it better because you see MJ like your point of view, like the way you actually trying to analyze the person? Do
Yeah,
you
I
understand better the choice that he made?
yeah, I totally understand because, well, to be honest with you, I wanted also to change some things in my face. Like I used to hate my nose as well, and
Okay.
yeah, and I didn't want to look like my mom in any other way. Like I had like eating disorder for years, so I was very anorexic for years because my mom was a bit overweight. So I was also trying to do everything to not look like her. So I can totally understand that. Well, he found his escape. Maybe it was too much, but as I said, nobody can really know what's going on inside a heart or a mind, and maybe it was not, surrounded all the time by the good people that could really try to, I don't know, just help him in another way. So yeah, I totally understand. I mean, he made me in a way because as far as I can remember, a lot of my choices in life have been influenced by Michael. Like
Yeah.
I need to study music thanks to Michael. I wanted to work in the music industry thanks to Michael. I started to think thanks to Michael, to dance thanks to Michael, and so on. So even without realizing, he he made me. Yeah, it's so I can only be grateful for that. Like really. Mm.
I think it's beautiful because what you're saying now, when you think about it, it's crazy because everything happened in my life for the last, I'll say 10, 15 years is all around Michael Jackson. Because it's
Yeah,
like even my wife, I met her because of Michael Jackson.
yeah,
My kids today, I have them because I met my wife, Michael Jackson was. And it's just crazy because Even the people I know today, you talking to you today, is because of
Yeah,
Michael Jackson.
yeah,
Even like I used to be shy before when I was young, and the confidence I have is because I started dancing on the street because I met Michael Jackson fan. The people that I know today, I have so many friends, so many people around the world. It's easy for me to promote my business, to network with people, but those people I got them from MJ. They was
yeah, yeah.
fans because before they become family, and now we just growing together and just building something strong. We can help each other business wise, like we can do your yoga, and it's crazy, yeah, and it's
And
good.
be happy that you can understand that,
Yeah,
because for some other people that really don't feel it the same way as we do, they might
yeah,
think we are crazy. It's like,
yes,
how
that's how
can you
people might
do
think.
that? You've never met him, you've never talked to him, he doesn't know you, like, you're crazy. But I know that I'm not, and I know that you can be touched by someone even that you've never met. And I think that's the beauty of it, and of Michael, really. Like, he touched so many people, and I'm so happy that we can now all
Yeah,
well bound and share. So
it's true because when my son was born, I'll tell you something. When my son was born and my missus called me, I was going to the hospital to try to see him or whatever. I wanted to buy something, but I couldn't get anything. I was just like, and then there's one person who was selling some stuff, near the hospital, some picture. I was like, oh, I love this picture, this beautiful picture. I'm gonna buy it for him, and I'll show you the
yeah.
picture right now. So this is the picture I got for my son.
Oh wow.
This
Amazing.
is crazy, and
Yeah.
yeah, because I haven't, I think I cannot even see that. I bought it same day he was born, and you see this picture, the way it's not like a real picture because when you see, it's like, have you seen there's a hood?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I see.
It's a hood. They made it like it's very beautiful. I have this one for next week. It's gonna be 9 years that I have this picture. So
Wow,
it's very solid and it's never gonna go anywhere. And it
that's
just
amazing.
it's just a gift. This is just to show how much things happen. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's beautiful. And as I say, today it's not about you, but as we talk about Michael Jackson, they get into it. So what happened when Michael Jackson passed away? Because I know
Oof.
Michael Jackson have such a big impact in your life. And what happened when you found
Uh,
out? How did you find out first?
well, I was living in Estonia. I
Yeah.
was doing my third year of university there.
Yeah.
So I was living there for 10 months or something like that. So I was very happy because, of course, I've been waiting for so many years to finally see Michael on stage and stuff.
Yeah.
So I got my tickets for this visit. I was the happiest girl on earth. So I was living.
I remember those times. Yeah.
I was living in Northern Europe, in a country where they were not even used to see black people. So that was so weird. But at that time, I was
Yeah.
the happiest. I was free for the first time. And then how I found out, it's on the same day I came back to France
Mm.
because my Erasmus was over. So for me, it was already difficult to come back to France, going home, of course. So I didn't want to come back home for all the reasons I explained.
Yeah.
I had also a very difficult relationship with my first love back then. So it was, coming back home was difficult, but I was happy because I was like, yeah, in 2 weeks or so, I see Michael, so who cares?
Yeah.
So I came back home. I was very, very tired. I saw my ex-boyfriend at the time. And then I went to bed because I was very tired. And I think at some point I went on Facebook. It was early days of Facebook. I think it was
Yeah.
1 year of existence. And I've seen someone wrote down RIP Michael, but back then Michael died every year. Every year you would see
Yeah. There was, I
something
think,
like that.
especially a
Yeah.
few days before, we had a lot of stuff about Michael Jackson being
Yeah,
dead.
so I was like, oh, that's bullshit again. So I didn't pay attention. I went to the
Yeah.
kitchen, I cooked something for myself, and then later I came back to my computer and I would see RIP, RIP all over. So I was like, what
Yeah.
the hell? And I remember I ran in the living room, I screamed my mom to put on CNN because I was like, if it's on CNN, then it's true.
Yeah.
And of course, there was all the news and everything. It was not dead yet, but by that time, he was in coma.
Yeah.
But I just remember that I started to cry and I fell down. Like, it's like my world was crumbling. Like, the only person. I know it sounds so weird because you're supposed to love your parents more than anything, but
Yeah.
for me it was my parents. It was the one I loved the most.
Mm.
So my world collapsed. Especially that I haven't seen my father in 11 years.
Yeah.
Last time I saw him, it was before leaving for Estonia, and I've never seen him since. So
Oh
my
man.
world really collapsed because I was like, the only person I really, really care and I really, really love is
MJ.
is dying. So yeah, it was very
Um,
difficult.
I understand. I think I never cried for somebody like that. Like I think when he
No,
passed
me
away.
neither. Like really, I cried for months. I met wonderful people around through the years, and I'm very grateful for that. But that sadness I had that day is I don't know.
Did you
It's
that during that time? Did you? I think you went to India before. I mean, your journey to India was before that or after that?
my journey was after that.
After
Like
that. Okay.
that's
That mean
very
that mean it must have been really hard for you because I mean you were still into your breakdown and everything, right?
well. The thing is that when Michael died, it has also switched my life. So I will explain. Before that,
Yeah.
I was not telling anyone about my childhood. I was in a very complicated relationship with someone who was mentally abusing me. So I think I was creating a pattern and everything. I couldn't break free.
Yeah.
And Michael died, and actually, my ex-boyfriend, he mocked me because I was crying.
For real?
Yeah, for real. And I think it was like a slap in the face, but it really
Yeah.
helped me to finally say, okay, bye, I'm done. For years, I couldn't break that relationship. And I was like, well, you're supposed to know that it was very important for me. And now you mock me. And actually, when Michael died, I finally got the balls to say, well, I'm done. Bye.
Yeah.
And
I
I
think you
broke up.
just like you reached the point where yeah, it was a
Yeah.
bit. I get it.
And before that, I was also very feminine, like not superficial, but really trying to please people, to hang out with cool people and stuff like that. I was trying to be very extrovert when I'm actually introvert.
Yeah.
Um, it's few details, but I had curly hair and I hated it. I think I had a identity crisis too, and
Oh,
when my passed, everything collapsed. Like I completely changed my way of dressing up. I finally accepted that, yeah, I have curly hair and I don't care. I stopped wearing too much makeup. Everything changed. It's crazy. I uh,
yeah,
I ended
that's
up some friendships that were very toxic, and yeah, it's
I mean now you met a lot of people as well, Michael Jackson fans around the world. You met a lot of people that time. I think that
yeah,
it helped you to kind of talk to people as well because I remember that time we were more close, like people were talking to each other and it was really, about it. So we're gonna get into that. So let's talk about Michael Jackson yoga. So what it
sure.
is? Like I was curious about it. Why Michael
So
Jackson yoga?
well, as you know now, I'm a MJ fan for
Yeah.
a very long time, and I love yoga as well. And I was like, well, why not trying to combine my two passions? Actually, I've been looking for Michael Jackson yoga on the internet. I
Yeah.
haven't, I haven't found any, so I was like, why not? And the
Wait,
thing is,
what do you mean by Michael Jackson yoga? Because when you
uh,
say I'm looking for Michael Jackson yoga.
well, I was trying to see if someone was giving actually Michael Jackson yoga.
Oh,
I
okay.
found one person in the US, but it was more of a, like exceptional event. And anyway,
Yeah.
I couldn't go there. So I wanted, to find a way of doing Michael Jackson yoga with people who would enjoy it as much as I do. And who would like actually to practice yoga, but also to be touched by Michael Jackson's songs.
Get it.
I really believe that Michael can really help you just through the songs and his voice. There is something very
Yeah, powerful about
healing,
his song.
powerful and healing in his voice and in his music. And I was like, yeah, let's try on my own first to see how I receive it, how I
Mm.
like it. And actually, I've been like really, really amazed by the combination of the two. And I was like, well, I know that a lot of Michael Jackson fans have a difficult past, or at least have been through things.
Yeah.
Maybe some of them are still very stuck or shy about it, or have no one to talk to, or can't afford therapy or whatever. So I was like, well, I know that in the MGFL, there are some people I can maybe help out, even if it's just 30 minutes or 1 hour per week, but I want to do it. And
Uh,
this is how it came. I think I really wanted to help out people. And well, I think it's somehow Michael telling me, yeah, do it. I don't know.
I think
It's
I might take one of your class to know better about it. Definitely gonna
yeah.
do that. So how does it work? Like, okay, let's take me to the journey. Like, I sign up and like how is it like to be part of
So
Michael Jackson yoga?
so the thing is that first I create a playlist
Yeah,
because there is, like a way of giving a yoga class. So we always start by doing meditation, short meditation. The more
yeah,
you will practice, the more you will be at ease. Just staying, sitting onto your mat or laying down and be able to face your thoughts without pushing them away, but just seeing your thoughts, good or bad.
yeah,
And then after that, slowly I build a sequence where I target some part of the body.
yeah,
I teach yin yoga, which is also another form of yoga. I'll explain later. And then I try to combine the posture with the song of Michael. So I
okay,
really look deep into the lyrics. I pick songs that really will touch your heart. So I can tell you that, for instance, the first song we will start with the MJ class is actually a poem that is called Planet Earth.
oh yeah,
So just
beautiful.
starting with the voice of Michael already, it will help you to settle down. And then slowly we build into the practice. But you shouldn't expect songs like Black or White or
Yeah,
Beat It. Or
yeah.
I already go into the full catalog. So
You
we have
you play like
MGFL.
Heal the World as well? Or
It's
you
on my other playlist,
uh,
but the first one I have, Il the World, is not there.
oh,
But you
okay.
have like Much Too Soon,
Oh yeah,
Smile. Well, I can't say much because well, I
yeah.
want people to
Of
find
course,
out for
yeah.
themselves.
Thank you.
But I
Yeah,
have another playlist of 3 hours of Michael Jackson
for
music
real.
that really fit the practice. So
And
yeah.
how long is the workout last? The class?
So the first class will be 30 minutes because I
30
want to
minutes.
see first how it goes. Because a lot of people are complete beginners, so I want first them to experience it, and the more they will practice, the more we can upgrade the class for 45 minutes or 60 minutes. But usually when I teach yoga, I teach 75 minutes.
How long you been doing that for?
I've been teaching for 6 months now, but I've been
Okay.
practicing yoga for 12 years.
Oh yeah, 12-year yoga. Wow, that's you have a lot of experience, man. Like
Yeah, exactly. But there are so many different schools of yoga. At the moment, I teach yin yoga because this is the form of yoga I discovered during my depression. And this is the form of yoga that is kind of slow paced and very meditative. And that can really help you to reconnect with yourself, especially in this crazy time. And there's no need to have previous experience. You don't need to be flexible. I will guide you there safely. This
yeah, I
is
mean, I'm definitely gonna. Yeah, I think I'm definitely gonna book one of your class. I'm gonna get part of it.
yeah.
Definitely, I wanna try. Do you do that more online or do you do like the face to face as well?
I can do it face to face. Actually, my plan for the Michael Jackson yoga, I rented a studio for June 27th here in Amsterdam, and I wanted to raise funds and to give it to charity. But the thing is that Corona happened, so
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll go. And then I decided to do it online. But otherwise, I teach face to face.
So what do you do when you do online? Do you actually send the playlist to people, or they
Yeah.
just like? I think it's better, right? You send a playlist so they play in the house while they're
So
playing with you as well at the same time, and you actually,
what
yeah,
I do is that I use a Zoom
yeah,
first for my classes, MJ classes or regular classes.
yeah,
I invested in a good audio sound system so people can really
yeah,
hear me in good quality. So I have a microphone and stuff.
yeah,
Videos are on. I want people to keep their video on, so then I can see them. I can see if they are like in a good posture or not. I
Yeah.
want to make sure that they are safe. But the audio is mute for them, so then they can really focus on my voice and onto the playlist. I send a public playlist on Spotify, so then everyone is able to play it at home.
Yeah.
Um, and then we go through that journey together. And there is a chat, so they can always, before class, ask me questions, or they can reach me through email. I respond quite fast, let's say that.
So do you having like a people around like many country now, right? Do you have
For
you done it
now,
with like yeah?
sorry?
Have you done it with many people like from different country right now, right?
Yeah. They are from all over the globe. So actually, at the moment, there is like a doodle that I send to people
Yeah.
for them to help me to select the best date, because for some people it will be a morning class, for some other it will be an afternoon class,
Yeah.
or an evening class. So let's see. For now, it will be either on Saturday or Sunday. Let's see. The deadline is tomorrow to vote. And then I will give the first class, but I think I will also try to offer a class during the week, because some people can't make it in the weekend. So yeah, I will
I
try
think
to do
yeah.
twice a week of
I
MJ.
think this is the perfect time actually to try to do it and promote it as well, because we live in a time where everybody's kind of locked down right now and people
Yeah.
can easily find themselves. And I will help you to let people know as well about it. So I think it's very something really nice. And the other thing as well, do you think you're having more Michael Jackson? Is it more Michael Jackson focused, or is it like for everybody? That's what I want to be. I want to make
For
sure.
everybody that
Yeah.
is curious to practice yoga first,
Yeah.
that is curious to practice something new, well, that likes Michael Jackson enough, because the whole playlist is Michael Jackson, let's be
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, everyone who is just curious enough to see what is yoga, and to just try to calm down and have a moment for themselves. So it's for everyone, but definitely for the MJ fans. Like
Have you ever have like a non Michael Jackson fan, somebody you actually don't really give it like a damn, and you actually try to do that? Have you ever had one?
to be honest, there is only one person who experienced that class. Yet it's MJ Fangirl. She had a private class with me a few days ago, and
Yeah.
myself, my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And well, let's see. Then you'll be the first people, guys, to
Yeah,
give me
definitely gonna
feedback.
do that. I'm gonna ask. I think you know what. I'm gonna ask my missus to do that with me as well. It's gonna be
Yeah,
two of
yeah,
us. It's
definitely.
gonna be fun.
So
We're gonna do it together, and yeah,
yeah,
I want to try it. I think we might take about half an hour. I don't mind. Like
yeah,
anytime.
yeah,
Just I definitely gonna get in touch. So if you guys are listening to me right now, make sure if you're a real Michael Jackson fan, you love Michael Jackson, make sure you
yeah,
get in touch with Bear. She's as you know, like what she got such amazing story about Michael Jackson, and you guys we should support each other, and then support each other, man. Just make sure you get in, get it, give you a try. I will make one with her as well, and I'll let you guys know what it's about. So it's Michael Jackson music. We all love it anyway, so it's gonna be amazing.
yeah.
That's a very it's a very good thing. The only things my switch is like, have you have some criticism from people? Like, did people ever say anything like, "Oh, why you want to turn Michael Jackson into a god" or something like that?
Yes. I
Because
had
that's the
that.
dangerous side of it.
That's the dangerous side of it, and especially by being a yoga teacher, because when you are kind of a spiritual leader, I don't see
Yeah,
myself as a spiritual leader at all. I just share my passion for yoga. I know it helped me out and it can help people, but I want people to figure out for themselves. So I'm no god, I'm no guru or whatever. But it's true that there are a lot in India or in the West or whatever. As soon as you give people some power, and especially when it comes to mental health,
yeah,
and it can be like very like there is a thin how I can say that line that you can
yeah,
cross.
yeah,
So yeah, of course, Michael Jackson is someone. I mean, people can see him as a god. Now you combine that with yoga.
mm,
Well, I'm sure some people can maybe see it like, is it like a cult or something
yeah.
starting?
Sure.
No, it's not. Everyone is free. Come have a look and you'll see.
Oh, that's
Just
very good.
share, just share love. That's it. And you don't need to be Hinduist or Buddhist or whatever. You can come. I mean, just come as you are. That's
And
it.
you do have a website for that, right? Oh, I think I know there's a
I,
Facebook page, right? I'm gonna make
I,
sure I will put all the. You're gonna send me the link later. I'll put all the information for everybody who wanna get in touch with her. I'm gonna put
I,
her
I
Facebook or any contact that she has. I'll put it on the link so you guys can get it, and get straight away to that.
I don't have a website yet because the idea is quite new, actually,
Yeah,
2 months old. Uh, and then I had to adapt with the situation of coronavirus, and I wanted to see first if people will be receptive. It's quite weird, Michael Jackson and yoga together. But so far, people like it. I mean, they like the idea. So let's see how it goes. Maybe I'll create a website later.
yeah.
And
Cause
for
now,
now, it's just a Facebook page and an Instagram page, and
Because
it's
now people are doing a lot of, I mean, having like a lot of clients right now because I do like
yeah,
fitness class online as well. This time is much easier to get people. People are home. People want to move, and I
yeah,
think if you push a little bit, I think this is the best time for to trying to get people attention. To do something. And the
yeah.
people that actually do the video with you, if they can actually share it and then show to other people, just Michael Jackson community, that's gonna help to boost it out. So it's
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it's a beautiful thing that you're doing. Is what is your biggest goal? Like, what is your goal in general? What do you
My
want?
what do I want is to find happiness. I think it's the most
Yeah,
difficult thing to find in life.
definitely. Yeah,
So to find happiness and peace of mind. And my biggest thing is I just want to help people in a way or another, and just keep spreading love, and that's it. I just want to
so
help people to make better choices for themselves, for others, and as Michael said, it starts always with the man in the mirror, right? So
yeah. Do you
I
do you actually just stop yourself in the yoga, or you have time to talk to people as well? Like, I don't know how to call it. Like, do you actually help people, like in terms of having a conversation with people and trying to follow the whatever they struggle with? Do you do that as well?
I think my friends, my close friends, are the one who get really more knowledge about it, like help from me about it. But I haven't started like a platform yet, to spread things out. But I've been asked, so maybe I'll do that later. But I think I've been really uncomfortable for years of seeing myself as a inspirational person. The more I was explaining my personal story, for instance, I would hear, "Oh, you're so brave! Oh,
Yeah,
how you did it and stuff." But for me, it was not being brave because I knew that so many other kids were, living the same thing. So,
yeah,
and it was just normal. I've been on survival mode all my life. So
yeah.
I didn't see it special, but after therapy, I mean, I start to understand that, yeah, maybe I can
So
help out.
therapy really helped, to get out of depression.
Yeah,
That's what you're trying to
if you
say.
find the right one, that's the thing. I mean, there are bad therapists, there are therapists that are narcissistic people as well. So it took me also years to find the right one. So yeah, but once you found the right one and you really put the work, because it's very difficult to go deep down, open up your wounds, and being just able to be vulnerable. It asks a lot of time commitment. So yeah, it's
That's
long
crazy.
journey.
So how do you deal with the whole Corona thing? Because I know the world is going crazy right now. Everybody's having a bad
Uh,
time and depressed. And how do you cope with everything right now?
I think pretty good, and I will explain to you why. Because once when I was in depression, so from age 30 to 31, I'm 32 now. My life completely changed. I used to be a party animal. I was all the time. I was never home. I was all the time surrounded by people and stuff. And then suddenly I moved here in the Netherlands and my life completely changed. I didn't want to have a lot of friends. I wanted to be on my own, to reconnect with myself. So most of my time I was home, actually. So for me, it's okay being home because I made it like a temple. I love my home. I feel good here. So I do yoga. I listen to my music. I read my books. I try to learn new things and to help people as much as I can. So far I'm doing good. Yeah.
So what can you say to people today? So somebody's feel like is empty. You know, there's a lot of people feeling empty today. They feel like
Well,
just don't want to do
um,
anything about their life. They're not worth anything.
well, the thing is that, of course, not everyone is equal about that situation. I
Yeah,
have the chance of being in a nice country. I have a nice big flat, so of course it helped out. But I also lived in small places when it was not easy as always. So I can understand it's not the same thing. So for those people, the only thing I can tell them is that it's the best moment to finally see your own truth, to
yeah,
finally maybe put things on the table, like who you are, what you've been through, what you want um, to do in the future, what anything. It's the right moment to do it now, and you don't need to. I don't know. It doesn't take you too much actually to do it, but you got to be honest with yourself and just be brave to do it. If you wanted to learn something, well, that's the right moment to do it. If you wanted to start a fitness, that's the best moment to do it. You don't need to spend 2 hours a day doing fitness, but just 30 minutes a day. It's already a start, you know.
yeah,
Just everything you put aside because you were too busy in your life is the best moment to do it. Like you can't stay home saying like I have nothing to do, because you have all the resources in you if you
yeah.
really
That's right.
go through and accept it. Like there are free yoga online. I mean, even just by watching a good documentary, you will learn things. You know, make you can make yourself busy. And
Sure.
also, if you are not busy, accept that it's maybe the first time in your life ever that you can finally
Relax
take
and
some
just
time to yourself, relax,
yeah,
observe your thoughts. You don't need to be like 100% productive if you can't, or if you are unable at the moment.
yeah.
But just make something out of the situation. Just don't stay. You need to change. I mean, we all have to change the way we used to live. Actually,
Do you
there
think
was a
society gonna change? Like, do you think? How do you see? I mean, what do you think about today's society in general? Do you struggle like
I
just the way
think
we live? Yeah.
I think today's society needs to change because clearly there are too many people struggling with mental health, um, way more than before, and I think that already says a lot. We put too much pressure on ourselves. We always want to set up goals that are maybe
Too
too
high.
hard, you know. So you're always running after yourself and everything, and you forget what is the most important, you know. Being with your family, being with yourself, making sure that your mental health and state of mind um,
Yeah.
is how can I say that, balanced. Yeah, that's the word,
Yeah.
balanced. So I hope that the society will change. We need to find that right balance between work and private life. We need to eat differently. We need to, well, to just put what really matters in priority. And I don't think that having crazy amount of money is the priority. That's what I
No, it's
believe.
true because a lot of people are realizing the same thing now because with the corona, people staying home. You get money, but you cannot even do anything with money. Even if you get
Yeah,
sick, your money don't mean
exactly.
nothing. The only thing that matter today is just health.
Exactly. I mean, everyone is, I mean, nobody can really say, oh, I'm protected from Corona because I'm that CEO, I have that amount of money at the bank or
Yeah,
whatever. We don't know. So it's,
it's
we
crazy.
just need to change really. I hope it will. But I also hope that people will not forget, because as far as I can see, people have the tendency to forget very
Yeah,
quick.
that's the thing. People forget
Things.
quick.
Yeah.
Maybe because we're losing a lot of lives. Maybe that's the only reason why people might remember what is happening right now because there's a lot of people dying. But if there
Yeah.
wasn't for that, I don't think we live in a society. People are very sorry, but most people are really ignorant. They just live
Yeah.
the way things are, you know. And then like now, everybody want to come out. They're like, I'm tired to stay home. I'm tired of this. They just don't see like there's a lot of people losing their life right now.
Yeah,
And this is the
exactly.
sad part,
Yeah,
but
definitely.
yeah, it's just sad, but it's what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think we spoke about a lot of things with
Yeah.
you now. There's anything else that didn't go through you want to talk about, you want to say before we wrap it up?
Well, there are so many things like, what can I say? Now, I will just wish people to stay safe,
Yeah,
to take that change, really to change themselves first,
yeah,
to stop pleasing people, start to please yourself first, and the rest will follow. And yeah, I hope that things will be better for everyone around the world. Let's see. And
yeah.
we'll
That's
have maybe a more humane society. That's my wish.
before I finish, I forget to ask you something. Are you a vegetarian, right?
No, actually, I'm not a vegetarian.
I
I'm a
know.
pescatarian. Yeah, so that's also a misconception. People think that you have to be vegetarian to be a yogi.
All right.
Well, I'm working towards being a full vegetarian, even a vegan, but the process is long, and I think that it you should just follow your own road at your own pace, without also forcing people to do so. So I'm pescatarian. Yeah,
Why is it? Can you explain what it is? Because
pescatarian is like you don't eat meat, but you can eat fish.
oh, that's I think I can't see myself doing that more
Yeah.
because I to get away with meat, I'm like okay, if I leave meat, I can still eat fish. I think I'll be fine with that.
But
Why do you have to?
it takes time. Huh? It takes really time. I used to be a really meat lover. Like, to be honest with you, I used to love chicken more than anything. So it takes time, and sometimes you will manage for 1, 2, 3 months, and then you will
Go
fail
back
again.
again.
Yeah, so it just takes time. And why I decided to stop is because I would think that it was not necessary to eat animals, or at least not that much. Not that much. I would prefer quality over quantity.
Yeah,
So good meat is expensive, it's true. So of course you will not eat it the same way or as regularly as you would buy the meat at the supermarket.
yeah,
And then I was like, yeah, at some point, you take some new habits, and you realize that you don't really need it anymore. And most of it, it's because of the suffering of the animals. They are not really treated right. So
oh yeah,
I
true
mean,
that. It's nothing to do with like killing animal, right? Just eat it because that's how you feel.
yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is that in this society, again, we overdo all the time. Like we overpossess, we overeat. It's always like too much. And the thing is that the earth can't. How can I say that? Give us enough resources to at the same time stay in a balanced state. So
Yeah,
there is more meat produced every day, so more animals just raised, to feed us.
yeah,
Most of the animals don't age. I mean, they live up to 6 months only, and then they are slaughtered. How can it be normal?
true, true
So
that.
yeah,
That's a very good. It was very, really, really good to have you today. I'm definitely gonna have you to my one of my episodes. We're gonna talk more about
yeah, sure,
because this was I really wanted to talk about the Michael Jackson yoga.
yeah,
So people, I know people. I'm gonna put it on my YouTube channel. I have a lot of people there, so I want to make sure like they're actually gonna know about it. This is gonna be the first video I actually put on YouTube. It's gonna be
okay, sure,
like Michael Jackson to really know what you're actually doing, so people can really get involved with what you're doing. So thank for having you today. I'm definitely gonna get in touch with you again. We're gonna talk about all the stuff as well. Feel
yeah,
free when you
definitely,
want to talk. I'm always here, man. We can always relate. I'm really happy to have you as well. This is actually our first time, to talk to each other. So
yeah.
yeah, is any song you want me to play for you? You love Michael Jackson. Um, that's your.
Ah, that's my song. Yes,
What's
the
your
way you
best
make
part of the
me feel.
song? Uh, uh, at least you smile. Yeah, go on.
I love that
That's
song.
what I wanted to do, man. I wanted to make sure you smile because when we first start talking, you look so serious and quiet. So I
Yeah,
love the
yeah.
confidence, and then really thank you to have you today. I'm really happy,
Yeah,
man.
thank
Like,
you.
God
Thank you.
bless you, and then you know, I appreciate, man. I really appreciate your friendship, and then what you said today was very, very, very deep. And I mean, I hope you enjoyed the conversation. I hope it was
And it
good.
was very nice.
And
Thank
say hi to your boyfriend as well. I pray like everything go well for him as well. And then you guys just keep safe.
you. Yeah,
All
sure
right.
we will.
So
Thank you
thank you.
for
Right.
having me.
Cheers.